Welcome to Foundation MBBS. This channel is mainly for new curriculum of MBBS course, that is CBME, competency based medical education. On this channel we will discuss case studies and clinical contents based on each and every potential topic of your anatomy, physiology and biochemistry. This will really help you to tackle clinically oriented questions very easily. If you are new on this channel, please subscribe and press bell icon so that you will never miss any update. Let's start with today's case. Case is 26-year-old woman presents with one-day history of right groin pain. Patient feels pain during tennis match previous evening and returning home she noticed swelling in area. On abdomen examination there is 3 cm swelling on medial thigh just below inguinal ligament and palpation reveals local tenderness. So this is the case. Now we will see the questions based on this case. Questions are: what is probable diagnosis? Enumerate its types. Why this is more common in female? Which are different parts and its extension? Complications related with this and therapy or treatment. Let's see some basic concepts of femoral sheath. So femoral sheath is funnel-shaped sleeve of fascia and made up of extension of two layers of abdominal fascia. Coverings of femoral sheath are anteriorly fascia transversalis, deep to transversus abdominis muscle. So this is transversus abdominis muscle and this is fascia transversalis covering transversus abdominis from posterior side. This green part is fascia transversalis and posteriorly by fascia iliaca which covers iliacus muscle. This is iliacus muscle and this green part is fascia iliaca. So posteriorly it is covered by fascia iliaca. This diagram shows sagittal view, parasagittal view, and this diagram shows anterior view of femoral sheath. In anterior view you can differentiate this is fascia transversalis. This femoral sheath is divided further into three compartments. First is lateral or anterior compartment, which contains femoral artery and genitofemoral nerve. This is lateral compartment and it contains femoral artery and genitofemoral branch of femoral nerve. Then intermediate or venous compartment, which contains femoral vein. This is femoral vein. And medial compartment or lymphatic compartment. This contains lymphatic node. Lymphatic node and this is medial compartment. This was all about femoral sheath. Let's see what is femoral canal. Femoral canal is medial compartment of femoral sheath which is conical in shape. Here you can see red circled part of femoral canal is femoral sheath containing this lymphatic nodule which we have shown in last slide, and it is bounded anteriorly by inguinal ligament, posteriorly by pectineus muscle and its fascia, laterally by septum separating it from vein. So here is this septum separating it from vein, and medially by lacunar ligament. Actually lacunar ligament is content of abdominal region. You can correlate lacunar ligament after completion of your abdominal region. Just remember it for now. Then this femoral canal is very potent region of this femoral sheath which gives passage of abdominal content to below. Means abdominal contents above can pass through this femoral canal to this medial side of thigh. Let's see answers of some questions based on this case scenario. In each and every case scenario, your first question will be what is your probable diagnosis. So in this case, our probable diagnosis is femoral hernia. And why it's femoral, not any other? Because femoral and inguinal hernia are closely related. How to differentiate them? Let's see in this diagram. This is herniation and this is pubic tubercle. You can like this is pubic tubercle. This herniation is present lateral to this pubic tubercle, and in case of inguinal hernia, herniation is like this. That means herniation is present medial to pubic tubercle. So basic difference in these two hernias are in case of femoral hernia, herniation will be present lateral to pubic tubercle, lateral to pubic tubercle, and in case of inguinal hernia, herniation will be present medial to pubic tubercle. Then next question is enumerate various types of hernias. First is umbilical hernia, that is herniation through umbilicus. This may be physiological or there are many types of umbilical hernia. Next is paraumbilical hernia. Herniation around this umbilical region is called paraumbilical hernia. Then next is femoral hernia. We have already seen this femoral hernia. Then inguinal hernia. We have also seen this inguinal hernia. Then next is diverticulation recti. This is little bit complex related to abdominal region. I will explain this. This is mainly related to your rectus abdominis muscle. These are your right and left rectus abdominis muscles. And these two are joined by linea alba. This middle portion is called linea alba, where tendons of all muscles, abdominal muscles are inserted. But after any surgery or pregnancy, this middle region gets weakened. Sometimes during surgery, incisions are made in linea alba. So this incisional part or this middle portion gets weakened, and on increasing intra-abdominal pressure, sometimes abdominal content may protrude through this region. This is called diverticulation recti. Next is incisional recti. Sometimes recti muscle are incised for any surgery, abdominal surgery. In this case, again, herniation can occur through incisional site. Then lumbar hernia. It is related to lumbar triangle, which is present on posterior side, that is back. Then you have to just enumerate these names. No need to describe each and every hernia in detail. Next question is why it is more common in female than in male. When you study anatomy of pelvis, you will notice that female pelvis is more wider than male pelvis. And if bony part is wider, soft part has to be wider. So femoral canal in female is also wider. And size of vessels, femoral vessels, is also narrow in case of females. So these all three factors promote easy passage of abdominal contents or herniation through this femoral canal. Hence it is more common in female. The next question is part of hernia and its extensions. Parts are neck. This is neck and this is sac of hernia. Sac is made up of coverings of hernia. These are various coverings, and this is content of hernia, which is mainly intestinal loops. Then extension of hernia. This hernia comes first downward. In this, I will change my marker. This hernia first comes downward in this femoral canal. Here your femoral canal ends, so it comes forward. As it comes forward, it will be physically visible on front of thigh. Then it comes upward on front of thigh. Next is complication related to this condition. These are strangulation, and if untreated, then necrosis. Strangulation is normally obstructed hernia. That means it cannot go back easily. So sometimes blood supply of these loops of intestine get compressed. That is, arteries supplying these loops get compressed, and compromisation of blood supply results in cell death of this intestinal loop, which leads to necrosis of that intestinal loop. Next is therapy or treatment. Treating physician or clinician has to follow the reverse course of hernia. That is, first downward, then backward, and then upward. If it is strangulated hernia, then surgery is recommended. This is all about questions based on this case. You can write this answer as it is, or you can frame your own answers for such questions. Thanks for watching. I hope you have understood the case study. So please like, share and subscribe to the channel.